we have a guest, Brett, and he is going to talk to us about his life and also his involvement with the Junction City Baseball Association. So, Brett, it's all yours.
How's everybody doing this morning? Thank you for having me. My name is Brett Robison. I'm a native to Junction City. Father got stationed here in '94. Went to the high school for a little bit, ended up transferring to St. Xavier's and graduating over there in '98. Got a lot of great people that I still know today, Chris, but that's questionable sometimes. Um, Ended up joining the Army, did 13 years. This was my first duty station, deployed out of here, did 2 more deployments, and medics retired in 2015. My ex-wife at the time, her family's from this area, so this was home. Came back here to raise our kids, and I got involved with coaching when we came back. You know, just the betterment of the youth. Love sports. I love watching my kids play sports. So I figure if I'm going to put 100% in for my kids, why not do it for them? Um, my kids have all played throughout the YMCA sports, and they have all phased out. And all 3 of my children and myself are still part of that organization as far as coaching and repping to this day. And I think my daughter, she's 14, so she phased out 3 years ago. I started coaching for the Junction City Junior Baseball Association 2016, coaching for my kids, and then I was presented the opportunity to be on the board to try to make it better for all the kids and teach them between sportsmanship, how to play the game, how to work together as a team, starting from T-ball all the way up to our high school 14 and 18, which I still coach today, and hopefully it doesn't rain. So every year we look for sponsors to support our league. I'm a firm believer that 80% of our youth that play for the Junction City Baseball League are going to filter through the high school. That's not military. So if we can better the kids at a younger age, they will be better by the time they get to high school. And hopefully with everything that we teach them, it'll make them a better individual as well. I mean, that's hope. Um, but the organization is a nonprofit, so we, you know, pretty much survive on sponsorships and our level of children that come in. Every year, it's about 300 kids. So between their registration and sponsorship, that's how we stay alive, and we try to give back to the community as much as possible. So that being said, that's why I'm here today to find out if you would be able to sponsor us at any level. Anything helps.
Okay. Any questions for Brett?
So this is like the Pony League, and what are your different levels of?
So we started T-ball, so 6 to 8, and go all the way up to, you got T-ball, you got machine pitch, Mustang, Bronco, and Pony.
Mustang, okay.
And currently, right now, I coach Pony, and some of my kids are actually on the high school baseball team during the school year. So they're kind of getting a little extra workout after the school.
Yeah.
Approximately how many you guys have games? Like
right now, our season starts the weekend after Memorial Day weekend, and we try to finish it before 4th of July with our tournaments. Weather pending. So weather right now is kind of pushing everything to the left. But we know everybody likes to travel, so we try to finish before then, but it's never happened.
and most of your games you play for
All of our games pretty much for our T-ball through our Bronco League are played at North Park. They may have a game or two. Right now, Wakefield is part of our league, so they'll travel to Wakefield, Fort Riley. it's kind of hard for a lot of our parents to get over Fort Riley, so Fort Riley comes to us. And even our pony, we all play up there at North Park and travel to Wakefield. We used to be part of Dickinson County and traveling all the way out to Council Grove every Tuesday and Thursday for our pony league and doing double headers. We weren't getting home till midnight, you know, so kind of pulled ourselves out of that league. And we got enough kids for the first time, I mean, 5 or 6 years. Last year and this year, we've had enough pony kids to form 5 teams so we can stay here. Other than that, we'd have to travel.
Where can we get a copy of your schedule?
I can get online and get a copy of the schedule, and I can get a hold of Chris or get a hold of you guys and get a schedule. Yeah.
And you play throughout the week?
Monday through Friday, we're up there. The schedule should be broke down as far as what leagues play. I know that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are T-ball and Pinto and Bronco. Because there's only 4 fields, so we gotta share them between 5 leagues.
And what's the cost to a parent for their child play?
So for, I think Pinto and instructional, it's $50. And it goes from 50 to Mustang and Bronco are 75, and it's 95 for pony.
That includes jersey and everything too, right?
And Honor Screen Printing sponsors the jerseys at a discounted rate, kind of a sponsorship. So we do have different levels of sponsorship. For $1,800 for the year, you get a sponsorship, and your logo and your name are on the back of the jersey for that league. Sponsor pony. And then we have, I didn't bring a paper with me, but we have different levels to where it's your name was on the banner. You know, right now, I went ahead and did a banner, so all the sponsors for the league are on the banner, which people was on the banner. Thank you for the support, and you get the Facebook recognition and everything like that. So there's a banner up there that shows who sponsors the league, you know, and kind of a recognition for that.
Do people still sponsor a team? Like,
So
back in
we
the day?
have 5 teams, so every year we have somebody that comes in and says, I want to sponsor a team.
A team.
Central National Bank has sponsored long before I was part of the league. So they always drop a good amount of money. They sponsor, you know, certainly. Everybody else is just you know, if there's nobody to sponsor, we do have a couple board members that own businesses, and they'll sponsor them if we can't get somebody else. It's, you know, $1,800 is a lot of money to ask for summer. So
How long has this league been operational?
this league had been operational for probably 50 years.
Wayne Dishman.
Yeah, Wayne Dishman was part of it. I'm a great guy. Great guy. He was up there even when he didn't have to be. Jim Poole was another one. So, yeah, it's been around.
Back when we were kids, they were like the Kiwanis had a club, Pensacola had a club.
Yeah.
There's multiple distributors. And Big Cheese Pizza was a sponsor.
Yeah.
It was quite a few. You identified them by the logo on there,
Yeah.
the color of the group, yeah.
Great league. It's nice. I grew up in it. And it was neat. Played a couple seasons out there when I was a kid. So, like I said, we partnered with these guys ever since I've gotten there. Probably 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. So it's been successful, you know, so I'm glad we were able to jump back in. I think we were out for a while.
Yeah.
You know, so we were, kind of helps us out quite a bit too, because we don't have as many leagues over around, our teams, I should say. So jumping in with these guys have been great.
And Chris knows we're, you know, if he can't form a team, send your kids to us. You know, we don't want to turn kids away. You know, part of the reason for us pulling Pony out of the Dickinson County, you know, a lot of those teams we play at, those kids, they're such a small organization. They've been playing together since they were 8 years old. We can't keep the same team together because of PCS and or whatnot. So when we go out there, we're playing their high school team, their traveling team, and we get beat. You know, in the first inning is 25-1. You know, kind of deters our kids from wanting to play. So decided to just come together and let the kids play each other. They're all friends out here. They know each other. You know, and they can have a great time doing it. The last 2 years we've been able to do that. It's been a better turnout for the kids to stay with the league and play.
Are there any projects or next steps that you sort of have on the vision board going forward?
Yes, there are a lot of things we need to work on to be better. It's just a matter of how to get there. And I say that our biggest thing is starting with our coaches. Everybody's volunteer. We're all volunteers. But when you don't have people stepping up to coach, you kind of get whatever you get. And I was working with the high school coaches at one point because they had a program that started from T-ball all the way to pony. So T-ball kids would need to know how to do this. So when they get to Pinto, they already know how to do this. They can, and it filters all the way up. But we don't get that. You know, the coaches out there that just coach how they want, and because their kid is playing, and that's it. Their PCS app, which is great. Thank you for coming. But for the kids who are here, it doesn't help them.
Is there such thing as out there somewhere like a workshop coaches or something like that?
I am in the process, and another board member, we're in the process of trying to figure out how to do that. And I say that because I didn't ask any questions. I just volunteered to be a coach out in Manhattan, and I had to go through a background check. I had to go through all these other obstacles just to be a coach. Why can't we do that here? Trying to figure out how to do that. It's hard enough to get coaches. When you get to the point of telling them what they need to do or how they need to do it, they don't want to coach. You know, so it kind of puts us at a do this or do we just do this? So we're trying to find an avenue to try to just make it easy for everybody. But nowadays it's just
That Junior J's philosophy, you know, from toddling to high school has paid off, but it requires a consistent leader that stays at the top.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there 12 years later when those.
and the consistent leaders we have are the ones that are on the board right now.
Right.
You know, so and there's only 11 of us. Can't coach.
How do your teams facilitate practice?
So that's kind of a problem with, you know, the last couple of years, most part, depending on how many teams we have per league. So right now we have 7 instructional T-ball teams just for Junction City. And they only can play on they only can practice on certain. We had the one field at North Park, that's full because we have to, games take precedence. So then they have to try to find another field that's available by going through the rec center on 12th Street. Cleary Park is usually open, but if they have softball games, it doesn't work. South Park, nobody wants to play up there. The field's not very well kept.
It's a dog park now.
Well, the first one is the back 2 they're still open. You know, because there's an adult softball league that plays up there.
Oh, okay. It's 2 dog parks. One on
Yeah.
each side.
Yeah. They actually talk about getting rid of that dog park too. But and then they have to go through the Kiwanis to use the other field by heading towards Granby. So Saratoga. So if not, I've seen some of the teams practice at the younger kids practice at a Fifth Street Park or somewhere there's a field big enough. Once you get to the age of even machine pitch, because you got to have a machine to pitch it, it's hard to have a practice anywhere else other than a field. T-ball, they can pretty much practice anywhere. So as you get older, it's easier to say, hey, want to combine practices and we'll use it as scrimmage. You know, younger kids, it's hard enough getting them I was at the fields last night till 11 o'clock. It's funny, but it's hard enough getting some of those kids at that younger age together to play ball when they're out there having fun. You know, to try to do practice, that's just gonna be worse.
I was curious because we've lost so many, baseball fields. They seem to be dwindling away.
Yeah. So, and that's part of where our, so we have to rent the fields to the city. So we pay the city to use the fields, but they have, Matt comes up there and he'll take care of them and he'll line them and get them, chalk them up, get it ready for the games. Who mows them, that's out of my hands, but, part of our, because like I said, we are a nonprofit, part of our sponsorship, everything like that, everything we get, goes to field usage, umpire fees, here and there.
What does an umpire cost now again?
So it's gonna be different for each level.
Okay.
I think at the pony level, it's $40 a game. So, I think it's 40, 35 down, all the way down. I don't even think we don't have umpires for instructional, it's just the coaches going out there. That's part of the reason why we're trying to get a little bit more structure, because the coaches umpiring, I don't necessarily agree with, but I get outvoted because as a coach, you should be focused on your team, not focused on strikes and balls and all that other stuff. But T-ball's also a different level, so.
You mind sharing your contact information?
Brett Robison, Robison. You can reach me at area code 785-210-6413.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions for him?
What does the city charge you? Is it per day or per field?
No, it's per the field. So they usually bill us at the end of the year. And it's right around 25 or $30 to rent the field. So I see the wheels turning, James.
Same.
Is Tell Street field still used too, or no?
Which one?
Tell Street, or Clear, oh, that's Clear, yeah.
Clear is right there.
I mean, we try to use it for baseball sometimes. I know last year they had our instructional games down there because we were one of the light poles at one of our fields had fell down during the storm, and I'll just say there was some argument about who's going to be paying to put it up. So the field was not even able to be used last year. So Cleary was used for instructional, but now that all of our fields are operational, we just use it for practice, and then they use it for their, whatever softball game was going. Because those are technically softball fields.
Yeah, and that's always so controversial, like the district charging fees. It's funny about that I hear.
Right.
But then you have the additional custodial staff, you have,
Right.
cleaning it up, turning the lights on, somebody protecting the building, whatever else. That's a constant. And then like with the city, I see both sides. They do have somebody knows what they're doing, put out bases and throw the lines down and whatever. But there again,
Yeah.
you're already on the field, you're already on.
I know that there's a lot less places and facility. I mean, Building Park was great.
Yeah.
They turned it into a soccer field now.
Still a soccer field.
So it's like,
The football.
yeah. So I know that party really did find a place to practice.
And I don't, we actually tried to use a high school field. We were kind of optimistic about that, because we know that's a whole different animal trying to go through the district and everything. But it may have worked we'd like to definitely have more fields. I've taken my daughter, you know, even when we travel to other fields, man, I can't, can our facility look like this, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's where we fall behind in youth sports is facility. Seems like everybody has better facilities other than, you know, high school. High school.
Yeah. I think we need a whole nother complex, but that's a whole lot of money and I think a different conversation.
That was a goal at the time, was building a baseball complex, and then it just kind of died out.
Yeah, I'd love to see 5 fields up there, one for each league. Throw a softball field up there too, you know? But I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I just make wishes. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Okay, well, Rep, we'd like to thank you for coming out and speaking to us. And we need to do a photo. Okay? And